Hello my gorgeous plant people, welcome back to Reading Mindfully. My name is Yana and today is episode 1 of our plant transformation series, so let's just get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So like I said, today is the first episode of my plants transformation series, and I basically just wanted to go ahead and make this series of videos to bring you guys on my journey of bringing my plant collection back together. There are a lot of things I need to do to improve my plant collection, and I've already started with decluttering. If you guys saw my previous video, I did declutter some plants, as well as I did go ahead and combine a lot of my plants, so that way I don't have as many plants and I don't have so many plants, some of the same plants, just in different areas of the house. So I did go ahead and combine my plants, and I will go ahead and insert pictures of those. But I did combine my Calathea zebrina, I combined my Calathea vorcevici, I combined my Calathea macuyana, as well as a couple others, just so I can have fewer plants in my collection. And what I'm doing now is just I'm repotting some of my plants that need to be repotted. I did go ahead and repot some of my other plants that needed some help, such as my asparagus fern. I changed the soil out into more of a moisture-rich soil that I have my other ferns and my calatheas in. And if you want to check out my soil video, I'll link it above. I'm going to replant 3 of my plants here. One is my Welfin Sansevieria. This one kept falling out of the pot, so I just want to go ahead and pot it into a deeper pot. And I did have it into a more shallow 6-inch pot, and so I feel like if I put it in a deeper 6-inch pot, that will be more stability. I'm also going to repot my Syngonium auretum that you see here, and my jade syngoniums. I had these propagating, and they are way overdue to get a repot, and so I'm going to do those today. And so basically throughout this series, I'm just going to be fixing up my collection. Like I said, I have a lot of plants that need to be pruned back, such as my philodendron golden dragon. That one needs to be pruned back. It is way off the moss pole, and so I'm gonna repot that one. Or I'm not gonna repot it, I'm gonna prune that one as well as restake it, and so that one will be right side up because it is leaning over currently. And I'm gonna insert a picture of that plant. I'm also gonna be fixing my philodendron squamiferum. That one needs the same work that my golden dragon needs. And so with several plants in my collection, I will have to go ahead and propagate. So that will be an episode of the series. I am going to go ahead and also treat some of my plants since they were outside. I want to make sure that, at the end of the year, or, whatever, that I don't have I want to make sure that at the end of the year that I don't end up having a pest infestation. So I will go ahead and treat my plants, and I can make a video of that too. But I just will go through and fix up my plants. I can do a water with me just so you guys can see how I water my plants inside and out. I will note that I do water my outdoor plants quite frequently. It might be every other day or every 2 days because it has been really hot. But that is what my Welfin looks like, and as you can see, it has a lot more stability because this leaf that you see here is really long and narrow, so it needed to be deeper, in a much deeper pot, and so that's what that looks like. But that's my Sansevieria Welfin. But yeah, like I said, some of my plants just need old leaves trimmed off, or any yellowing leaves, things like that. Some of them don't need as much work as other ones. I will be starting a couple plants over. I'm thinking about starting my tetrasperma over because that plant is currently touching the ceiling and it's just way too tall, and I'm just looking at it right now, but it is just, I can't believe it's touching the ceiling, and I just have this itch, and I've kind of had this itch for a while to go ahead and restart the plant. Just so, I've taken so many cuttings of that plant already, and I just feel like even though I take cuttings of the plant, the main stems on that plant are so thick that they're hard to maneuver. So I'm thinking about restarting that plant altogether, and just to see how that looks. Especially because I've had that plant for so long, I just kind of want to start it over like I did my Monstera. And another plant that I will be doing a major chop to is my Philodendron McDowell. That one did struggle after the spider mites, and I just feel like having a redo will be really good for that plant. And I can't remember. Other than that, other plants that are doing really well, my peace lily is doing really well, my ferns are doing well, except for maybe 2 ferns. And my anthuriums are doing pretty well, although I think I want to end up doing an experiment with those, but that won't be a part of the series. And that's what that syngonium looks like. This is one of my favorite syngoniums. I just love the broad leaves on this plant. And then the last one that I'm going to do is this jade syngonium. And like I said, these have been in water for a long time. As you can see, they have really long roots, at least, 6 to 8 inches. And usually I plant my cuttings after they develop inches of about 2 inches or so. But these, I just kind of forgot about them. So I want to get them repotted here. So that way when I take more cuttings, I don't have a bunch of cuttings sitting around the place, as well as I will need all of the jars that I have. So just going to replant that one like that. And I could replant this one in a 4-inch pot, but because syngoniums grow so fast, I won't have to really worry about this one so much, because it's gonna fill out the pot really quickly. But yeah, so how have you guys been doing? I've been doing some traveling, and I've been trying to get back into walking and just going back to the gym. And I have been taking walks in different states. We did go to Connecticut. As you guys know, I did go to Connecticut. I told you in my last video. And we went to this state park where we just took it was a really nice walk, but it was so warm. And guys, I do not have a good sense of direction. This is what that one looks like. I don't have a good sense of direction. So if you ever ask me where where we're supposed to be going, or where the trail is or whatever, you will get lost. I'm just letting you know right now that I am not the best person with a sense of direction. And it has been such a long time since I have just been doing walks, and not just like walking around the neighborhood. I'm talking about like a nice 5 to 10 plus mile walk. So when we went to this park, it was really nice, and I was so grateful to get a new pair of sneakers, because all I had was my Chucks. And if you guys ever walked in Chucks, they're not good for long walks. They're good for certain things in the gym, but they're not good for long walks. And I just got a new pair of sneakers, so we decided to go for a walk. And the walk was we went up the hill, everything was fine. It took us about 30 minutes to go all the way to the top. And then we stayed there and we looked at the surroundings, and it was so beautiful. And I took pictures. And then on the way down, my friends wanted to cut across the grass to go back down the path that we came up on. And I told them to man up. I told them to man up and let's walk all the way around to get back to the path. Well, when we walked around, we didn't go around enough, and we ended up on the wrong side of the park. And just to get back to the car, it took us, I think it took us another hour to get back to the car, because we were on this side of the park and we need to be on this side of the park. And so it was just so funny that we were walking, we were like, oh my gosh, like where is the car? And my one friend was like, and I was like dying. I just could, when people do that, I just could not help myself but to laugh. Hi, Sage. Sage is like hearing me in distress right now. But we were just like, I was dying because he kept making those noises and he was like, it's just like, it was the funniest thing ever. But they were having us go up and down staircases instead of just going, you know, on the flat terrain. And I thought I was gonna twist my ankle. I was just walking so slow, and both of them were at the bottom of the stairs just waiting for me to come down. It was embarrassing, but listen, I had to walk down slow because I was like, I am not about to twist my ankle out here in the middle of nowhere in a state that I am not familiar with. So I walked slowly down those staircases, taking one step at a time because it was so steep. But I was like, man, after that walk, my legs was like sore. Not so much sore, but my back was definitely sore, and I was like, listen, that was a point in which I knew that I was like, I really need to get back in shape because that walk just completely took me out. But I have been trying to get some walks in, and it has been interesting. I have been posting some of my pictures on, you know, Instagram just so you guys can see, but it's just so funny that these walks have been taking it out of me. Another plant that I want to give you guys an update on is my Philodendron Florida Ghost. As you can see, I have 2 white leaves, and I have another one coming in the middle. This plant has been doing better. Obviously, it's been holding on to its leaves, and I have taken you guys' advice and moved it away from the light. And so I do have it sitting here on the table right here, you know, not in the front of the light in particular. And as you can see, it has been holding on to the leaves, so we'll see how that one does as we move along. I'll let you guys know if I'm able to get any more leaves. But yeah, that plant has been a pain in the behind in particular. It's not one of my favorite plants, but we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, so as my first episode of the transformation series, I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of plants to fix up. I'm sure I'll have more repotting to do later, especially once I bring my cuttings together. I'm just have to see how many jars I'm gonna have to be able to do these cuttings. But yeah, so I'm gonna definitely put in some videos and some pictures so that way you guys can see the current state of my plants. This is raw and real how my plants look. I haven't touched them to, you know, cut any leaves to make them look any better, just so you guys can see that your plant collection is not going to always look the best, especially if you have other things going on in your life. It's okay, your plants will bounce back, especially if you do, you know, eventually get around to them, they will bounce back. And I just wanted to show you guys and walk you guys through my journey of bringing my plant collection back to a, you know, a nice state. And I just wanted to walk you through the steps that I'm going to do that, so that way it's like I don't get overwhelmed, and if you're in the same boat that you guys don't get overwhelmed, and you know, maybe if your plants aren't in the best state, that we could do this together. So this is the first video. I'm really excited, and number 2 will be coming out very soon. And so, as always, if you guys want to comment below, if you guys have any plants that you're working on, or if your plant collection needs some help, I'm always interested to know. And I'm so grateful that you guys are liking my videos and watching and subscribing. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.